Try again.
This is the key. I actually got a little nose cut because I put these on too much, so I need to figure out some better option. Hi, I'm David Roche. We're training for the Big Alta 50K, one of my dream races, even though it's a new one. And it's a nice dreary day out here, but what a perfect day to just sprinkle a little bit of suffering at the end of this training block. So I can't wait to bring everyone along for the ride.
Whoa! Is that fun?
Everything changed in 2024. In January, I signed up for the Leadville 50 miler thinking that the Leadville 100 could be this incredibly cool race to do that has so much history. And then I got in a terrible bike accident in April. And slowly but surely, I came back. And all of a sudden, when I came back, I just felt as if I had a different reservoir of toughness than I did before. Lined up at the Leadville 100 and had the day that I dreamed of. The day it came together, 18 years of working really hard, signed up for the Javelina 100 miler, got a golden ticket to Western States, which has always been my dream race. It's the race that made swap in coaching, right? Like, I know every inch of that course. I set goals for Leadville that seemed impossible. I want to set goals for Western States that seem impossible. My imposter syndrome is still there against those types of athletes times 1,000. And so as soon as I recovered from Javelina, it's like, it's time to go, baby. And it's fun because now we're here in March and we're getting to go time. We're getting to the time where Western States isn't some distant memory or distant far off thing. Now it's, I've got to start putting it on paper. I've got to start showing that we're not just talking about it, we're being about it. And that really starts at the Big Alta 50K in a couple of weeks here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It goes back. It goes way back. You can feel for it. And then bicarbs, precisions, ketones, lots of good stuff. Caffeine gels, bunch of stuff that were sent. But yeah, the main thing is enough of these to last if there's like a zombie apocalypse. So today we are 15 days out from Big Alta when we're filming this, which traditionally for our coaching, 15 days out from an ultra, we want to get a specific stress in that particularly has fast downhills that mimic some of the stresses of the race you're going to do. So 2 weeks before Leadville, I was on Hope Pass, the really steep section with some really strong downhills. On this one, I wanted to get to California-style trails rather than being on technical single track. And so that brought us to Sanitas Valley Trail. Anyone who's ever been in Boulder, this one's a little bit notorious, infamous, because it's a grind. It's just kind of like California carpet all the way up and climbs a lot, but the climbing comes fast and easy compared to a lot of trails. And so I wanted to just do, as Megan called it, a sociopath route, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, to get some of those stimuli that I haven't gotten before, which is, I know I'm good on hills right now because I have a treadmill, but I don't necessarily have the uphill into downhill that Big Alta is going to require. So the way the workout is structured in particular is each lap of the Sanitas Valley Trail was about 1.2 miles up and 1.2 miles down, climbing about 600 feet per lap and then 600 feet descent on the return. And so for the first lap, the first 2.5, 2.4, was just easy, warm up, starting to open up my stride a little bit. Lap number 2 was when the workout actually began. And I tried to click into 50K effort on the climbs, clicking into some of your glycogen reserves, starting to burn through that, but also doing something that's pretty sustainable. So zone 3 for me in a 5-zone model. And just really clicking into the forward lean, climb, get comfortable in that space that you can just hold for as long as you need to hold it. And then what I would do is as soon as I got to the top, at the very end of this climb is a 15 to 20% grade. And so basically no matter how you run that, you're going to be tired when you get to the top. I would try to turn around right away and open up the stride back down the hill at 5 minutes per mile or so pace. And just let my stride open up, because that's what Big Alta is going to require too, is just comfortable downhills where you do some quick stuff. And that's not something I get a lot because I am running from here. And if you can see, there are some big hills off in the distance, but you have to run pretty far to get there. I'm doing most of my training with not much vert, so that was a very important stress. And so then I finished lap 2, and after every single lap 1, lap 2, lap 3, lap 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, I was doing a gel. So lots of GI training out there. I think that was one of the big parts of this, because this type of workout, putting out this much power, isn't really possible without that type of fueling. The sport's changing because this type of fueling lets you put out power the entire time. Like I'm not gonna fade. Okay, every other lap was a different structure, where instead of doing 50K effort, I was doing 1 minute on, 1 minute easy, where the ons were just above 50K effort and the easies were just kind of floating a little bit. And so that would usually be about 4 minutes, 4 by 1 minute on, 3 minute easy between, so about 7 minutes to get up. Then turn around, run back down. And so that was lap 3. Lap 4 was another 50K. Lap 5 was 1-1s. Then we went to the car after lap 5. That was lap 5. 3 more. Let's see. Got 1 hour, 20 minutes. And 12 miles. So 6:40 pace so far. Like 30 some hundred. 32, 3,300 feet of climbing. All right, we can do a little dump. Hopefully I didn't lose any. One, that's 40. 40 grams, 30 grams, 40 grams, and then 20 grams plus the precision, so you can do the math. 3 more of these guys. Bottle. And then another 50K effort, then another 1-1, then a cool down lap, where on the cool down lap, Cody Bare was out there filming, who's amazing and does our videos. And yeah, he was like, David, that didn't really seem like a cool down on the downhill. I was like, yeah, I had to use the downhill to go a little bit faster. But then at the end, I added 4 by like 40-second hills, and those were fast. Oh yeah. Let's do some strides right here. I have 19.25 on the line, so 4 of those, back to the car. The rationale there is something that our coaching philosophy has changed a little bit over time, where we often add harder, shorter, little things at the very end of tougher long runs as fatigue resistance practice. There's some really interesting science about the body's ability to click into carb ox after high amounts of fat ox could determine how people were able to perform at the end of races. This all comes from cycling. But either way, it's good suffering practice. And so finished up with 4 by 40 seconds, and then went back to the car, celebrated. And so 15 days out, I think that everything's come together to the point that I can race Big Alta pretty hard from the gun. And more importantly, gave me those downhills where I got almost 5,000 feet of downhills between 5 minutes and 20 minutes per mile. And that type of downhill is something that like is going to be what makes or breaks Big Alta. Though at Big Alta, with who's showing up, they'll probably need to be 40 minutes per mile, which not there yet, but I have 15 days. Final, let's see how much nutrition from the ride. So 30 grams. This is in the first half. 40 grams, 70, 110, 150, 20 plus sodium, 170. Oh, there's more. 210, 250, 290, and then I'm gonna give my credit for 20 on that one. I'll give him a 10 because I had the last little bit at the very end, so 300-ish in 2 hours and 17 minutes. Let's say 310, so whatever the math is on that. It's a lot of carbs.
Good work.
Yay, thank you. The thing I'm looking forward to most is Big Alta happens on March 22nd. It's probably gonna take me a week to be able to run much again. I'm gonna be so sore, in the best way. But then I get 3 months, and those 3 months, that's why I wanna do Western States. That's what the sport's all about, is like waking up every morning and being like, I don't know if this big scary thing is possible, But that big scary thing motivates me to do things that right now are impossible. Like literally, if I had to do them right now, I couldn't. But hopefully on June 28th, I can. And so, basically Big Alta for me is the biggest brick that's gonna happen in this entire build. And that doesn't depend on me performing even well. All I really wanna do in this race is suffer. If I can suffer, I'll be freaking golden. And what better place to suffer than with a bunch of friends on those trails? Because like, I remember watching the live stream last year and seeing some of Ryan's videos after and being like, that looks like a glorious place to die 1,000 deaths.